Today on Singles Court, Pam's got cold feet, so Jack's getting ditched, not hitched.
There was a lot of pressure. I mean, I was feeling trapped from the beginning.
The runaway bride has disengaged, and she isn't saying why.
Whose wedding is this? That's what I'm asking you. Let's ask him.
I'm taking care of things. What do you mean?
Oh, he's taking care of things.
And Topaz thinks that rock means a roll in the hay.
He is totally old school rock and roll. He likes to party. He likes to party. He likes to drink. He likes to flirt with the girls.
But Henry just wants the group to make sweet music together.
It just doesn't make any sense to go on the road. I know what will happen is we'll do nothing but argue.
Well, hello there, and welcome to Singles Court, the #1 show on the Singles Broadcast Network. I'm the show's producer extraordinaire, Michael Day, and here is the show's lovely host, the talented Angela Siegel, relationship mediator.
Hi, Michael.
Don't you look all militant and sexy today? Did you just race in from a Black Panther meeting? Is that?
Close. I'll tell you what, I wanted to remind you, we have that protest this weekend. Remember that restaurant that charges you extra for single servings?
Down with them.
All right.
Okay, we'll get on to our protests later. Right now we have two people in our studio who are protesting their relationship, and that's why they're here. Right. Meet Jack, who is a photocopy repairman, and Pam, who is a data entry clerk. They've been going together for about a year now, and everything's been going great. Jack, in fact, recently proposed to Pam, and she accepted. However, now Pam is getting two cold feet. I call this the case of silent wedding bells.
Pam, nobody likes to be left at the altar. How did yes turn into no?
Angela, I tell you, everything was fine. He and I had a great relationship. We've been together for a little while, but we got into this huge fight shopping for this couch. He picked out this ugly, tufted-looking thing from Victorian age, and I like, Bauhaus lines. Anyway.
What's a Bauhaus line? What does that even mean?
That. You already know
German, Jack. It's German.
Oh,
thank you.
Fantastic.
Anyway, it was our first real fight. I'm sorry, but it brought out a side of both of us that it scared me.
So you broke off the engagement because of a couch?
No. It's not about that. The whole thing.
What is it about?
I'll take you back a little bit, right?
Okay, please do, Jack.
We know each other about a year. We're having a good time, day and night. After about a month, I think I meet my soulmate, and I think she thinks the same thing. So I planned this elaborate, fantastic wedding proposal.
After a month?
After about a year, I said.
Oh,
no.
okay, but okay.
Yeah,
I
no.
misunderstood.
After a month, it's day and night, and then, about 7 months down the road.
Okay.
We're at the baseball game, and I think this is a fantastic idea. We go out, 7th inning stretch, a good game too. It's going real well. My team's up, and so I work it out ahead of time with those people with the the electronic thing, and 7th inning stretch. It says, "Pam, will you marry me?"
In front of 30,000 people.
Isn't that fantastic? Wouldn't you love that?
Well, yeah, I think that's kind of cute.
Absolutely.
But you didn't ask me.
Yeah, well.
That's my opinion.
Next time.
And I,
Anyway, so up it goes, and I worked it out with these people. They got the, they know where we're sitting. There's a big picture of me and her. She says yes, 30,000 screaming fans.
Yeah, 30,000 our friends were there. It was on the 11 o'clock news that night.
Okay, and
I had to say yes.
Okay, so Pam, so you said yes because of what?
Well, I said yes because I love him, but there was a lot of pressure. I mean, I was feeling trapped from the beginning.
Okay, so that made you feel trapped, the fact that all these people knew and he made this elaborate proposal?
Well, I felt trapped because this whole thing was his doing. He comes from an Italian background.
Most of the time when people propose, it's usually their doing.
Yeah, but the whole thing, from the get-go, he and his family want a huge hall, 300 people, 10-piece band. That's not me.
Well, what is you?
Well, I'm not really the marrying kind. I don't know. I just need some time to think things over, and I think he should respect that.
Well, you know what? You have to give him at least the benefit here, okay? he probably would have respected it more had you said that in the beginning.
Absolutely. So now
what was her answer, Jack? I mean,
her answer was yes.
Yes.
Answer was yes.
Yes, without any.
I had no choice. In front of 30,000 people, I'm going to say no. I'm going to look like the bad guy in front of 30,000 people.
Okay, so you said yes out of obligations, what you're saying.
At the time, I suppose, it's not even about the ball game.
Look,
the way he, no, the way he proposed.
I mean, you have all these
totally
things. It's not about the couch. It's not about the ball game. It's not about the 30,000 people. Michael, what's it about?
He's a control freak.
I'm not a control
freak. Yes,
freak.
you are. It's always
I'm
about
getting her
you.
everything anyone would want.
Everything is
she's
always
got a
up to him.
10-piece
Why do you
band,
say
she's got a
me in
big-
anything?
Why do you say he's a control freak?
Because
it sounds like, I don't hear that. I hear you saying it's not this, it's not that.
No.
It's not. And I've given her this. I've given her the wedding. I've given her the band. I've given her everything she could possibly want.
He just reminds me of my last engagement.
Why don't you tell us about it? Because you called him first.
Why don't you tell me about it?
You didn't know?
It's just this
No,
guy.
I didn't know.
Oh, don't worry. It's not for you to know. It was in my
It's not
past.
for me to know.
Angela, this guy, I used to date him a couple years ago. And he was just like Jack, control freak.
But you keep saying that. You have a past of a control freak.
No, she doesn't keep saying it. She just started saying it.
Well, I'm just
what is that all about? It's like a hobby you have? Is that what you do? You get engaged and then you screw people's lives up?
No, this is not what I do. Look.
Somebody's seen too many. Whoa.
You know what? Really. It's not about the couch, and guess what? It's not about the gavel, but I want some answers here, okay? You called him a control freak. I asked you several times to explain to me why you said that. Then you blurt out this relationship that you say it's just like. So enlighten us. Why is he a control freak, and what relation does it have to your last relationship?
I'll tell you. I think these men need to wake up. No one gets married
Pam, look at me. Tell me. Go ahead.
No one gets married and stays married nowadays. Everyone knows that. My
Not
parents,
to you.
all of my
Not
friends,
to you.
they're all divorced. I don't want to be a divorcee.
How do you feel about what she's saying? As
I didn't
ignorant
propose
as it sounds.
divorceeism to her. I proposed marriage to her. Apparently, I wasn't the only one.
Do you understand? Pam, do you understand what he's saying, how he feels? First of all, you left something out, a very important part. You were engaged before.
A little bit.
And now you're imposing this idea that you have that nobody stays married forever. You know, he deserves, and we deserve, some sort of explanation.
Yeah, and 300 guests and a band and the caterers and
That
there's a lot of
didn't
people.
want.
Look at this thing.
But you know,
supposed
what
to be
happened to
my
your
You think
marriage?
these
I
things
didn't
are
want
cheap?
any of that.
You think these things are cheap?
What is that?
I've never
It's an
even seen that
invitation. I got
before. It's already
350 of
been
these things
done. I've
out.
never even
350
seen
replies, 350 people buying gifts.
Where were you during all this, Pam? And just, you were so
I would
forced
like to
into.
know.
She was
No,
couch
I
shopping.
would like
She
to
was
know.
shopping for a couch.
I would like to know.
Angela, I've never even seen that invitation before. Now, whose wedding is this? His
Whose-
or ours?
No.
Give me a break.
Whose fault is that? His or yours?
I just think it's a difference of opinion.
I just think you're tripping. Let me ask you, what responsibility do you think you have?
Angela, I loved this man. I still love him.
That
but
was
I
not
can't
my
love
question.
somebody who controls everything, the
How
whole
is he
situation, right down to the type of couch
Michael,
we're going to sit on.
Michael, are you keeping count?
I'm keeping score
How
here.
many times have I asked you, how is he controlling? And you have not yet answered that question.
Angela, I have not seen our own wedding invitation.
Are these
Whose decision-
examples
She
of
can't even
controlling?
answer
This is a very good
Here.
example.
You take
I'd like
that
to
home with
see.
you. Take it
This
home
would
with
be
you.
nice.
But why did you not see
Knock
it?
yourself out.
How was it done without my knowing?
That's what I'm asking you.
Let's ask him.
I'm taking care of things. What do you mean?
Oh, he's taking
Without
care
her
of
knowing.
things.
But Jack, at what point did you say to her, I need your input on this, I need your input on that?
At what point, Jack?
For what?
For what? Now we're getting
So you
someplace.
did.
I said, you want to get married? She said yes. What else do you need?
Okay. No wedding bells. I'll be back with my resolution. This impending marriage is headed down the wrong road. Pam, you kept calling him controlling, and I asked you several times to give me examples, and you never really gave me any clear examples. They were partial, because the problem was you never told him. They were things that bothered you, but you chose not to tell him. So it's hard to control somebody when they really don't know what it is that they're doing. The obvious issue here is your fatalistic approach to marriage and your own fear of it. You're looking at it as a total, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop. What will happen next that's terrible? Jack, you on the other hand, put a lot of emphasis on your wedding day, as do most people. But you must remember that it is still only one day, and that the majority of your effort needs to be focused on the relationship and the marriage. If you look at relationships in general, you have to realize that they're very hard to navigate when one person insists on steering the relationship downstream. In this case, it was you, Pam, who decided that you were going to send it into the most doomed position possible. I will tell you that I believe you both need a little more time. You need time to discover if there is a chance for you to find optimism in the marriage, for you to find optimism in the relationship. Because the way that it looks now, you just are looking for the worst possible scenario. And that's never a good idea. If it's going to last, you're going to have to determine if you want that wedding toast to be half empty or half full. Choice is yours. And that's that in black and white.
Next on Singles Court, Topaz thinks that rock means a roll in the hay.
He likes to party, he likes to drink, he likes to flirt with the girls.
But Henry just wants the group to make sweet music together.
It just doesn't make any sense to go on the road. It just, I know what will happen is we'll do nothing but argue, and it'll just mess up the whole, because she's jealous.
Well, all right. Singles Court is back with relationship mediator John Shaft. Angela Siegel. Sorry, it's the jacket.
You are really funny today.
Okay, are you ready to rock?
I'm ready to roll.
Because we have got a rock and roll story for you today. In our studio, we have a couple. Meet Henry and Topaz. They've been together now for about a year, and it's been easy listening. However, Henry's in a rock and roll band, and they're planning a comeback tour. But Topaz has an axe to grind with that idea. She doesn't like the notion of Henry going on the road and everything that involves. So I call this the case of hard rock and soft groupies, or deli trays and easy lays.
Okay. Well, Topaz, you seem to have a problem with the music he's making, so tell me what it is.
Okay, Henry and I have been living together for about a year now, and things have been pretty good up until this point. But the trouble started a few weeks ago, and he came in one day and just announced to me that he's going on tour with the band.
Okay, so you knew he was in a band already?
Yeah, I did. Okay. But he didn't talk to me about it. You know, I think because we're living together, we should make these kind of decisions together.
I still know how important that all. It's really important. It's a comeback.
But well, Henry, though, tell me, like, are you in a band like all the time? Are you in a band on the weekend and during the day you cut hair?
The early '80s, the early '80s was a big time for me. A lot of songs on the charts and stuff. With band Surrender, we had a lot of hits, and
what do you do today on a day-to-day basis?
I still am a musician.
You just do the band?
I write songwriter as well as everything else.
Okay, so that's your full-time job?
Yes.
Okay, that's what, so you knew that?
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with that, but I think if he's going on tour, he should talk to me about it. But it's not just that he's going, and there's no discussion, and I can't come. He's just
so why can't you come, Henry?
She's just real jealous. It's ruining. I can't have girls on, wives and girlfriends on the road. It's just it'll ruin.
Other girls that are fine.
Well, it's got nothing to do with that. I have no plans. There's no plans whatsoever of any kind of fooling around.
Well, Henry, we've all seen Spinal Tap. I mean, we know.
Well, but at the same time, I love her. I've been with her. We've been together all year. The last thing I want to do is ruin anything about it.
I know what you're like.
Question, Henry. This is your full-time job.
Yes.
And now you've decided to go on this comeback tour to get this back. That part I understand. I guess the part I'm missing, something as major as a tour, why would you not include the person you're living with?
It just doesn't make any sense to go on the road. It just, I know what will happen is we'll do nothing but argue, and it'll just mess up the whole, because she's jealous. She's incredibly jealous. She doesn't trust me. Well, an example. I mean, there's an example right now. She's freaking out because she doesn't want me to go on the road. And what's really important here.
That's not an example.
Well, but the real important thing is what I have to go out is reestablish myself, and it's really important that I go on this road.
I understand that, but do you understand her fear? Let's find out what it is. Good idea, right?
Okay.
Okay. What is your fear? What is it that you're afraid of that if he's going to work, you have a problem with it?
I just know what this man is like. He is totally old school rock and roll. He likes to party. He likes to party. He likes to drink. He likes to flirt with the girls. And I go to the local concerts and I see what it's like here.
What is it like?
All of the girls come backstage. There are like hundreds of girls that are climbing over each other to get backstage passes.
Oh, maybe once upon a time. It's not like that. I'm not interested in it. I am not interested in it at all. It's not true. She's just jealous. It's her problem.
But do you understand what she's saying? She's afraid that you're going to be part of the rock scene. So what can you say to make her feel comfortable that won't happen?
Because it never has happened. I've been completely true with you since forever.
Let's define never. Never as in never since I've known you, never and never in my life.
It's never been an interest for me to go out,
let's define never.
has not.
Is it never as in never ever? Or is it never as in never since I've known you?
Never since I've known her. And it'll
Okay.
never happen. It
So
just
not
will never
usually
happen.
is a better word. That's better. Not usually. Okay, can you accept what he's saying? And if not, why? Not. Why can't you accept
This
it?
is a lie. I can't believe
What's a
this-
lie?
You're going to tell me you've never, ever slept with a girl after a show?
No, I haven't done
Never.
anything like that. No, I've been really...
I can't believe you're lying.
So why are you saying he's lying? I mean, he's saying never. So why are you saying he's lying? How do you know?
I know what he's like. He loves the attention. He loves hanging around with these young
It's really
girls.
part of what I do. It's part of the business.
It's
And
not
I
He's in
flirt.
show business. I mean, hello, newsflash.
I
If you're in
flirt a little, that's all.
if you're in show business, you probably like the attention. Why else would you be there? So that's not new. You knew what he did for a living.
I know that, but the way he flirts with these girls after the show and
It's
stuff.
just flirting.
Well,
It's
you
just
know, but
It's not
flirting.
just flirting, Henry. It is not just flirting.
Topaz. Okay, be a Jim, and let's go back to what it is you're talking about. You're talking about the fact that you know that
I
he
know
would
for a
not be
fact.
faithful.
I know for a fact.
How do you know
I know
that?
for a fact because I was a groupie and he slept with me after a show 6 years ago.
Oh, come on. I mean, it's a
6
really...
years ago. I met you backstage
scraping the
after a show.
bottom now. So that's just a
Did you
lie.
hear what she said? One of you are lying. She says that she slept with you.
Do you have any proof
Yeah,
to
I do.
back
I
this
do,
up?
actually.
I tell you what,
Oh,
he's
come
rocking
on.
back and forth like a rock and roll band. So somebody's nervous.
Does that look familiar?
No.
I'll take that. Nice cut.
Michael.
I don't believe it anyway. It must have been
What,
a picture.
what part don't you believe? That looks
She
like
probably
you.
had a picture taken when we were at the apartment or something.
Okay, and what would you be doing that you wouldn't remember that? Don't answer.
That was taken.
That's
in,
him, and that's you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was in Seattle. That was 6 years ago at the Palladium.
Okay,
don't
and he doesn't
remember
even
no
remember
Seattle.
it, so I'm not even going to ask the state he was in. But this is why you're afraid he's going to do it again, because he did it with you.
Exactly, yeah,
But
yeah.
you know, let me do a little spin on here, Topaz. If he would still do it again, how does he know you won't do it again?
Because I'm with him.
Oh,
I have
so
no
it's
problem-
okay for you,
No,
but not
it's
for him.
It's not okay. I want to go on the tour with him. He just doesn't want me to come along.
It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever to come on. It's just, you don't travel well. It's just
But
crazy.
It's been 6 years, right? Okay, Henry, help me to understand. First of all, do you believe that do you believe that's you?
I don't know how
It's
she
you.
got that
Okay.
picture.
Okay, you know it's you. Now, explain to me how you can make her feel comfortable, but that you won't do something again that you already did with her, that you deny even now.
Because I promise, and I want her to trust me. And the most important thing right now is financially. This could be a great thing
We're
for us.
okay
We're going.
financially. We are okay
Topaz,
financially.
how can you make this relationship work? A, he doesn't even believe that's him. B, he wants you to understand and believe that he's telling you the truth. So how can you make it work at this point?
I'm okay.
He's not taking you. Okay? He's not taking you.
I just don't trust him then. I know what he's like. I know what he's like after he's been drinking. And it just takes for some cute little girl in tight vinyl pants and a push-up bra to start flattering him.
I
and
suggest you
telling
start
him
trusting me a
how
little bit
wonderful
more.
he is,
I
and she
promise
can just
you.
lead him off by the nose
Okay.
into
I
bed.
suggest you start believing me. At
Henry,
this
do you hear what she's saying?
Yes, I
Basically, what she's saying is it's a deal breaker. If you go, it's a deal breaker.
Well,
So
this
are
is-
you willing to hang the relationship up for your supposed comeback tour?
I'm just figuring that I'm going to have to convince her that she's just
Well,
has
good
to
luck.
believe me.
Good luck. The tour date's coming up. I'll be back with my resolution. I just want to be sure that I understand you correctly. Now, 6 years ago, you had the liaison.
Yeah.
5 years passed. How'd you all hook up again?
I work as a bartender here in town at the local bar, and he started coming in, and he didn't recognize me at first. I was so embarrassed, I was so shy, you know, and I was afraid to talk to him. But then once we got talking, I realized that he didn't even remember me from 6 years ago, and I didn't want to tell him about it because I didn't want him to.
Okay, so
reconnect
then
with
you
me.
kind of started from scratch.
Yeah, we did.
All right, okay, time for my resolution. You know, Henry, memories are exactly that, memories. Sometimes it's better to leave them in the past. When we try to relive our past, it's never the same as it was when we did it the last time. And when things happen that you don't even remember, it's probably not a good idea to do exactly the same thing. So you have to really realize that even though it seems like a great idea to go back on tour, if it's detrimental to the relationship, then it's at least worth examining. Topaz, it's understandable and legitimate that you have issues because you were there. You know what happened. You were part of it. But you have to remember, you were part of it. So the same thing that you're accusing him of, you did as well. So that is the reason you're afraid, but you also have to understand that that's what the relationship was based on. You always knew that in the back of your mind. When you look at the relationship and where it's going from this point, you have to realize that in general, relationships do need a little bit of compromise when you have these sorts of conflicts. Someone has to give and the other one has to give a little more. In this case, neither one of you are willing to give. Now you have a choice. You can either not go, you can take her, or you can go with her blessing. Those are your choices. There are no other choices. But I will tell you that if you decide together and each of you are willing to give a little bit, then I can promise you the beat will go on. And that's that in black and white.
Well, there it is. When it comes to relationships, if you're going to the chapel, you better take it one step at a time. And a rolling stone gathers no moss, but it doesn't keep a lot of girlfriends either. I learned that from the Queen of Contrasts. Join us next time here at Singles Court, the final word for singles.